Hey y'all, it's Monique, and this is More Than Massage, the show where we go beyond the techniques and talk about the real work, holding space, healing, and building a sustainable, soul-aligned business as a massage therapist. And in today's episode, this is for every therapist who has ever felt a session leaving exhausted, emotionally drained, or like you took something home with you that maybe did not belong to you. So, we're going to talk all about emotional boundaries because as massage therapists, we don't just touch bodies, we work with people, and people come with energy, emotions, trauma, and stories. And if we don't know how to protect our own emotional space, we'll carry it on our shoulders, in our gut, in our sleep, and even in our business. So today I want to share how to set an emotional boundary that keeps you safe, your sessions clean, and your work sustainable. So let's dive in. Why emotional boundaries matter. And let's be real. Nobody taught me this in massage school. Maybe it's new and they are teaching it now, but back then we learned draping, ethics, contraindications, which are all very important. But what to do when a client cries on the table, or how to protect your energy when people are anxious or heavy or emotionally volatile? What do you do when you feel drained or irritable after a session, even if nothing bad has happened? And here is what I want you to hear. Feeling tired after a session does not mean that you're doing anything wrong, but it might be meaning something like you're carrying more than what's yours. Your job is not to absorb what people have going on. It's to witness and hold space and stay regulated. So, I'm going to share a few signs that talk about how you might be lacking emotional boundaries. They may be like feeling emotionally wiped out after certain clients. You might start taking on your client's moods or even their symptoms. If they present something, maybe your body starts to get sick with the same ailments. If you feel guilty for saying no or rescheduling or even raising your rates, or if you have a constant urge to overgive and then you feel resentful later. Any of those sound familiar? This is not being compassionate. This is overgiving. This is emotional manipulation. And over time, it can lead to burnout, compassion fatigue, and even resentment towards the work that you once loved so much. So, what are emotional boundaries and what does this look like? What does a healthy emotional boundary look like for you as a body worker? Here's how I practice. First, I have energetic awareness. Before each and every session, I check in with my own body and I ask myself, what's mine today and what's not? I set a clear intention. I set a boundary before the session begins. Something as simple as I'm here to guide, not to fix. And that alone can be a huge, powerful shift. And then after the session, I might do a ritual like smelling an essential oil or stepping outside and shaking my wrists out, opening my door, taking a few deep exhales. The intention is to let go of their energy on purpose. Keeping protective language is really important as well. You can stay neutral and kind. Try something like, gosh, that sounds like a lot. Thank you for sharing today. Let's keep focusing on your body and see how it responds to this. And you're allowed to say no. That's outside of my scope of practice. I can recommend another therapist for that type of work. Being compassionate doesn't mean being contained for everything they unload. I love helping people get to the root of things, the deep, deep, deep work. But not one part of me wants to dig my elbow, my fist, or my thumb into anyone's body. What people consider deep tissue and what I consider deep tissue are completely different. So if someone wants me to come in and physically do deep body work on them, they're not a client for me. I'm happy to recommend them to another therapist for that. But if they want to go deep into the nervous system, deep into the neurology and deep into real change that lasts forever, I'm your girl. And I say it just like that. No concern, no worries. If it's not a good fit, it's not a good fit. Boundaries are a form of self-respect. But here's the truth. Boundaries don't block connection. They create a safe connection. And when you protect your energy, you show up more fully. And when you're clear about what's yours and what's not, your sessions become cleaner. And when you're modeling energetic hygiene, your clients will feel more secure. Your goal isn't to numb out. Your goal is to stay present with your client without drowning in their pain. And that's what makes your work sustainable. That's what allows you to do this for long term. So, want to learn more about this work deeply? If you're nodding along with this and you're thinking, yes, I've been there, I felt this, and I didn't know what to do about it, or I knew what to do about it, but I didn't know exactly what the steps are, trust me, you're not alone. This is the exact work that we dive into in the somatic massage continued education classes. This is for practitioners, where you learn how to support your nervous system without absorbing your client's emotional weight and help them change their emotional system without being responsible for it. It's a win-win for both of you. So if you'd like to bring this in your practice, I'd love to connect. We actually have a few on the calendar right now, coming up all over the country. I'll drop a link below if you'd like to schedule a time to talk about it. That's all I've got for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Next week, I'm bringing on a very special guest, Jackie, one of my mentorship clients who built a 5-figure-a-month practice by using the Bodyworker Blueprint. We're going to talk about how she made that shift, what worked, the mindset it took for her to stop trading dollars for hours and start building a business that supports her life. And if you've been wondering if this is possible for you, don't miss this episode. Make sure you're following along, sharing the show. This is More Than Massage. I'm Monique Derouen, and I'll see you next time.